Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm JC and today's video is going to be about Camp NaNoWriMo, which is right around the corner. Now, for those of you who may not know, National Novel Writing Month, typically, which happens in November, is where you do 50,000 words in the month of November to write a whole novel, which is not really a complete novel at 50,000 words unless it's a short novel. But Camp NaNoWriMo, as I understand it, because I'm new to Camp NaNoWriMo, the first one I did was in April, is pretty much you get to set your own goals. It doesn't have to be 50,000 words, but the idea is to get you in the habit of, consistently writing on a daily basis in preparation, I think, for not November. I didn't complete my goal in April. I am going to be doing it again in July. My goal in April was to outline my next novel so that by this camp, I could actually be starting it. I didn't finish outlining it because in the middle, I thought of a different angle to tell the story from, and then I couldn't effectively figure out where I was going and the direction I wanted to go with that particular angle. So I got a little lost and sidetracked there for a minute, but I think I'm on the right track now, and I've started the brainstorming process again to kind of get the details out so that I can start outlining. There'll be a video on how I outline, which is kind of all over the place, and what I plan on doing about that coming up. But this video is about Camp NaNoWriMo and what I plan to work on. So my next novel is going to be about it's about a lot of things, but it's about relationships overall and how one traumatic relationship that stems from your childhood can impact the rest of your life. In this case, it's a mother-daughter relationship, and typically mother and daughters, they have their squabbles growing up, but usually they pan out by the time you get to adulthood. And I see all these moms and daughters who are best of friends, and personally I don't have that with my mother, but which is a little bit of the basis behind my next novel. It's called The Weight of Her, and it's about a woman who suffers severe physical, emotional, and mental abuse in her childhood at the hands of her mother. Her and her sister both, but her sister and her have handled it in different ways, probably on different extremes, and it basically impacts the whole trajectory of her life, decisions she makes in the future based on things that happened from her childhood, and all the failures that she had, which she blamed on her mother. And yes, eventually she will realize that it's her mother's fault to an extent, but at a certain point it's her responsibility to take those trials and tribulations and flip them around to the way she wants and have the narrative for her life that she wants, and not let her mother impact her whole entire life and her marriage, because she's married but her marriage is strained because of things that she's carried over into her adulthood that started with her mother. And in this story, she hasn't had a relationship with her mother since she ran away at the age of 16. Her mother shows up on her doorstep. Her mother's dying, and with all of the resentment that she has had that's built up, and the way that her mother has impacted her life, even not being in her life, her mother wants her to be the one to take care of her to the end. She came to her to basically right her wrongs, so to speak, and maybe her mother doesn't really apologize, but she comes there to make things right. And she finds out in the course of taking care of her mother in her dying days, that her mother's childhood was theoretically worse than hers. There were other things, horrific things that happened to her mother that made her mother the way she is, or the way she was to her. And she realizes in a sense that her mother let her mother and her things that happened in her childhood affect the way she treated her kids, and she doesn't want to carry that into the rest of her life. It's a lot of things happen. There is going to be it's going to be a heavy book, a bit heavy, but some good life lessons in there. There's how do I put this? I am going to address the whole right to die thing in the book. It's not something I initially planned to do with this book, but when the character started speaking to me, that's kind of how the story unfolded. And essentially, her mother wants her to help her die. She doesn't want the illness and disease that she's suffering from to be the reason she dies. She wants to go out on her own terms with her daughter's help. And there's going to be a whole issue with the police and whether the daughter did what she did out of love, or did she do it out of bitterness and revenge. There's lots of family secrets and things that come out in the book, that things her husband doesn't know about her. For one, she told her husband that her mother was dead, and so the fact that she has a mother that pops up on her doorstep is already putting her marriage, which was already shaky before her mother got there, it's already putting an extra strain. It's a whole lot of things. But my plan for Camp NaNoWriMo is to do the outline. And in outlining, I do character sketches as well as a chapter by chapter detailed outline. Well, bullet point outline. I don't want to get too detailed. Unless there's a crucial scene that comes to me, and I feel like I need to document the dialogue of that scene. Other than that, I won't get more detailed than some bullet point items of things that I want to happen in a specific chapter. So my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo, is it's not a word count because like I said, I'm doing outline. So I want to at least work on my outline at least 2 to 3 hours every day. And I say that because I have other projects that I am also working on. I have a spiritual motivation book that I'm finishing the editing process on. Also, I have a short story collection idea that I'm trying to flesh out, and I have my first re-release of my first novel that I'm trying to get the cover work started on. Just found someone to do the cover for me for that book, but I want to start planning on and working on the plans for the release of that book. So and I have to start editing my first book in my mystery series, which I'll get to that in another video as well. But yeah, so 2 to 3 hours on my outline per day. I haven't been working on it daily as of up till now, so that's probably why it hasn't gotten done yet. But hopefully I will stick to my goal and I will have my outline done by the end of July. I'm not going to be using the site. I'm just going to let y'all know. I don't like the new NaNoWriMo site. I use it in November because it's a pretty easy goal to set, 50,000 words. It's pretty simple. But with Camp NaNoWriMo, you set your own goals, but it's not word count goals. It's like if I have days or hours, it's confusing and it's a little chaotic, and it's already chaotic to write a book in the first place or to outline a book in the first place. So I don't really want to deal with the site. But I do plan on doing a lot of live streams. I'm not doing them myself. I'm sorry, let me clarify. I plan on participating in other author tubers live streams because I ain't quite gotten to the point where I'm comfortable to do live streams yet. Hopefully by November I will get there and I can participate or collaborate with other people and do some live streams. But yeah, that's my plans for Camp NaNoWriMo. Hopefully I will probably be increasing my videos during the process. I may entertain the thought of doing some vlogs. I'm still figuring that whole process out right now. I have a camera actually videotaping me videotaping this, So as part of my first vlog, which will show you my corner office area finally, which I do not shoot in, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, because I like having the bookshelf as my background. But so that's it for me for this video. If you like what you've seen and heard here and want to see more videos from me, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And let me know your plans for Camp NaNoWriMo, what you're working on in the comment section. And if I'm not subscribed to your channel already, I can subscribe so I can keep up with your progress during Camp NaNoWriMo. And until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.